and we'll now pass over to Lisa from Great Places Housing Association.
Oh, thank you, Amy. So thank you for having me. So my name is Lisa Sharples. I am the Energy and Heat Network Manager at Great Places. Great Places is a social housing landlord. For those of you who are not aware, we manage and own just over 28,000 properties, and within that we have a portfolio of just under 40 heat networks. So today I'm going to talk about Richmond Park. Next slide, please. So Richmond Park is 299 properties across an estate with one community centre, and it's various tenures and different types of buildings that are connected to it, from one-bedroom flats through to two, 3, 4-bedroomed homes. So the challenge is really clear here. The local housing team were really struggling with a few elements. So there was excessive heat losses across the network, high return temperatures, and the flow and return temperatures were practically, there was no delta T, no difference. Poor insulation, which is quite common on, our legacy heat networks. Our customers had limited control, and there was limited control within the plant rooms also. We had aging equipment, and we had unsafe domestic hot water cylinders within the property. So all the customers had individual hot water cylinders, which, leaks, overheating, alongside HIU. And we had unreliable heat metered, resulting in estimated bills. This was probably the biggest challenging for the team who were looking after the scheme at the time, is the lack of data that was coming out of the heat meters to enable them to accurately bill the customers, and that was set through the service charge. So lack of data is key, and all that resulted in our customers having, low trust in the data and their heating charges and the system as a whole. Next slide, please. So the impact to the customer was that they were sometimes paying higher than necessary energy costs. We had that limit, they had that individual limited access to what they were actually using, consumption, to be able to manage their cost. Overall, that was, the inefficiencies across the scheme were massively reduced. Some safety concerns with overheating and just poor customer confidence in the system. And as you can see in the background, this is Richmond Park with 9 plant rooms, some, accessible above, and some, behind customers' homes, etc. And one of the things that we found is customers who had, when we had hot water tanks, quite often when the system wasn't performing, or when the plant rooms were offline, it was sort of masked by customers still having their hot water. Next slide, please. Next slide. So, Great Places went on a bit of a journey with this scheme. We secured an optimization study via HNES, which then we took through to a capital application, just over 3.2 million. The project in total was. So much like what Louise and Ruben talked about, insulating the pipework, BMS automation and smart controls, so remote access to our BMS, and pump controls, weather compensation, water quality, all improved in the plant rooms, closures of network bypasses. All radiators were commissioned with TRVs installed, which were PT40s. And water quality improvement was huge. It took us a long time to get that right, but it was, really, really key. Cylinders were replaced with HIU, so customers were able to have both heating and hot water from their HIU, and this was all supported through from revenue optimization funded study right through to capital. So this was the solution. We worked with our partners, Fair Heat, to get that. So one of the Really great. Next slide, please, Amy. You were right to go then. One of the really big impacts that we seen for our customers when we optimized the heat network, and it predominantly was a dwelling first approach, and the plant room came afterwards, optimizing the plant room. When we come to set down the tariff, when that work had been completed, we seen the tariff reduced by 50%, and customers' average annual savings were around £513. But some customers were saving even more. We had a great story where there was one customer who wanted to continue to pay the same amount each month, and during the whole of summer, after it was upgraded, he was in that much credit he didn't have to pay at all during the summer. And we wanted to make sure that customers had the ability to pay by prepay or direct debit or go and top up whatever they needed. We wanted to give customers the full visibility to be able to do that. And we installed guru meters, which gives the customers a really good oversight within their home. So that was the benefits from the customers. So lower heating bills, they had greater control over their household budgets because of that, accurate billing and reliable metering that's give them more confidence. They have a meter and billing provider to go and speak to, which is Sycus, who is able to offer them support and give them that real-time update. They have real-time visibility of their energy use, and we also have visibility to be able to help them customers. And just overall, that improved heating and hot water reliability. We experienced quite a lot of outages, which were now completely reduced. Next slide, please. So the retrofit program improved the network performance by reducing heat losses by 40%, so just bringing it just over to 200 watts per dwelling. And those that that is one of the key milestones within Hen's Heat Network Technical Assurance Scheme, so we feel confident the work that we've done is helping us to work towards that. We've seen across the scheme 23% reduction in gas consumption. Some plant rooms, we've seen that higher, and 64% reduction in electrical consumption. And that is a lot to do with controls of the pump set. And how I like to explain it, just things were on or off before, and now they were controlled with weather compensation and usage, and it's not just that high temperature put out. So lower carbon emission, reduced fuel costs for Great Places, which feeds into the tariff for the customer. Overall, improve operational efficiency, and a stronger foundation now for us to enable us to decarbonise Richmond Park. Next slide, please. So this is a really key one for us, so delivering with our customers. So our customers were asking for this work, and so was our neighbourhoods team, and it was identified as a key heat network to do. So we had 95% customer engagement. And when we talk about customer engagement, our delivery partners, Fairheat, were saying on average across all their schemes, 80% of customers engage and book an appointment. But what we found with Richmond Park, that was 95%, and something Ruben and the team were talking about before. It was that really key engagement. We did it in a variety of ways. We had what's called an Our Voice page where customers could have a QR code, and that would take them to a page that have all the contact details on and the material. We'd communicate to the customers in the way that was right for them, that they requested. So whether that be in writing, in person, engagement events, we communicated to our customers in a variety of ways, and we've developed our FAQs to help us answer the customers' questions and regularly updated them. Really valuable is to speak to your customers and see what questions and queries they have, and we regularly updated them. We had leaflets distributed and postcards and on-site presence from our subcontractor Broadoak and Fairheat, who had signage so customers knew where to go. We really key, we had a dedicated customer liaison officer, as you can see in the middle there in this photo, and we also had one with our subcontractor, and they worked together to help us then only work on the 5% of customers, which that meant We achieved 100% access. We completed on time, and unbelievably, we actually come under budget. So really important. We had some outages, but actually we maintained heating and hot water throughout the project for customers. And I think this is a really important one. It's quite a lot of work and disruption for customers. And we worked around the customers. We did what's right for them. We involved our tenancy coaches or other services that they may need so that no customer had to be decanted to allow that work to go on. And I think this is really important. It's that collaborative working. A lot of projects, you might just do a monthly meeting. We did weekly on-site meetings, and we went and spoke to the customers who were maybe not understanding how to use the meter or how to control the system. So I think it's really important that it's a customer first approach when delivering and minimal disruption. I think that's it. So thank you very much. Any questions, pop them in the chat. Happy to answer them. And I've just give you like a bit of a whistle-stop tour. So there may be some other questions that I can help you with. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lisa.